Ollie T. Today we're going to take a look at fentanyl, an opioid, a synthetic opioid that's causing havoc in the United States among drug addicts and law enforcement alike. So let's look first, what is fentanyl and what makes this drug so dangerous, and what if it comes to Ireland? Right, so what is fentanyl? Well, fentanyl is a potent synthetic opioid that emerged as a critical public health crisis in the United States. This drug, intended for medical use, has become a significant contributor to the opioid epidemic, leading to a surge in fatal overdoses right across the country. This report hopes to shed light on the concerning rise of use of fentanyl in the United States, its impact on communities, and how this may eventually come to Ireland. The growth of fentanyl use. Fentanyl's prevalence in the United States has skyrocketed in recent years. Originally developed as a powerful painkiller for patients with severe chronic pain or experiencing surgical procedures, illicit fentanyl production and distribution have expanded rapidly. Fentanyl is a highly potent drug, estimated to be up to 100 times more potent than morphine, and approximately 50 times more powerful than heroin. Its potency makes it attractive to drug traffickers seeking to maximize profits by adulterating or substituting it for other substances such as heroin or counterfeit prescription pills. The impact of fentanyl in public health in the United States is devastating. According to the Centers for Disease Control Prevention, fentanyl has involved in over 60% of opioid-related overdose deaths in 2019. In fact, fentanyl-related deaths have increased exponentially, contributing to a staggering number of fatalities right across the USA. This drug poses significant risk due to its high potency, leading to accidental overdoses, even in the smallest quantity. Fentanyl's presence in the illicit drug market exacerbates the opioid crisis and poses challenges for law enforcement and public health agencies. Its potency and potential for contamination to other substances make it difficult for users to gauge the strength and the dosage of the drug. Increasing the risk of fatal overdoses, fentanyl-related deaths have affected individuals from all demographics and all geographical locations, highlighting the urgency of the effective intervention strategies. But of course, nowhere will be more affected than the disenfranchised and homeless, the people lost to the streets. This is America in 2023. This is post-COVID America in 2023. And the destruction and degradation of the human moral is just, it's breathtaking. It's just unbelievable to witness and to see. And the big concern, I mean, have it bad here in Ireland with our homelessness, but it's nothing like this. This is just on another level. And the video I'm showing you today is just of one particular city in Philadelphia, and it's just one city of them, and there's many like this. And this is just one day in one city, and it's heartbreaking to see people like completely freaked out. Look at this girl, look. They just look so disenfranchised, so outside of the norm. Look, the mental health of these people is being ravaged. Look at this poor girl. So it's more than likely that fentanyl will arrive on these shores. I mean, it already has shown up here, and there have been a couple of fentanyl deaths. It's just not as widely available as it is in America. But because it's a lot cheaper to produce than heroin, and easier to smuggle apparently, because it's not coming from necessarily known heroin locations, fentanyl is produced, I believe, in China and in Mexico, but in China they seem to be able to source all the chemicals needed to without any problem. And then they ship it over to the United States, and it won't take long before that makes its way here in a big way. As I said, it's a lot cheaper and a lot stronger, and it's going to, if we think we've got a problem now with heroin, wait till fentanyl hits this town. There's several factors that contribute to the rise of fentanyl in the United States. The primary factor is the economic incentive for the drug traffickers. Fentanyl is cheaper and easier to produce than any other opioids. Of course, with heroin, you've got to grow the poppies, they've got to be harvested, and then they've got to go through a process, then it's got to be smuggled, and a lot of border guards and border dogs, I should say, heroin is something that's been around a long time, and they have various ways of detecting it. This synthetic opioid, fentanyl, is made in a lab with chemicals, and it mimics heroin. It mimics heroin to the opioid receptors in the brain. It's a lot stronger, and it's harder to define what a safe dose is. That's why the drug's potency allows for smaller quantities to yield significant profits, fueling its infiltration into the illicit drug market. I mean, I've seen people goofing before, but bent like a hook like that. Yeah, once in a blue moon you'd see it. But this, as I said, is one city on the same day in the USA. And you can see they call it the zombies, streets of the living dead. And it's actually this town, this is Kensington in Philadelphia. And I had heard they'd made the drug restrictions there, they'd decriminalise certain drugs, but it seems to have backfired on them. But fentanyl is there now, there's no stopping it, and that's why I think we need in Ireland a lot more treatment centres than we have. It's worth, I think, putting the money in now before things get out of control like we're looking at here on the video. Also, the increasing scarcity of prescription opioids due to tighter regulations and prescription monitoring programs that they've set up in the States because of the recent news about the misuse of opioids like OxyContin and stuff. Well, these programs, these monitoring programs, have driven some individuals to turn to illicit substances. So people that were getting OxyContin from the doctors, and they've tightened up now, and they're starting to get stuff on the street. Fentanyl is relatively inexpensive, and it's widely available, and this is the problem. It becomes an alternative for those seeking pain relief or euphoria. The current opioid crisis, with its roots in overprescribing and addiction to prescription painkillers, has created a vulnerable population susceptible to fentanyl use. Now, while fentanyl has not yet become as widespread in Ireland as it has in some other countries, there are signs that the drug is starting to make its way into the country. In 2017, the HSE issued a warning about the dangers of fentanyl after a number of drug-related deaths were linked to the drug. According to the HSE, fentanyl has been detected in a number of drug seizures around the country, and there were concerns that the drug was being mixed with other substances and sold in the streets. Since then, there have been several high-profile cases of fentanyl-related deaths in Ireland. In 2018, a man was found dead in his Dublin apartment after taking what was believed to be fentanyl. In 2019, a teenager died after what was thought to be a combination of fentanyl and another drug. In 2020, a number of people in Cork were hospitalised after taking a drug that was believed to contain fentanyl. Preventing fentanyl-related harm requires a multifaceted approach that involves law enforcement, healthcare providers, community organisations. One of the most important steps is to increase public awareness about the dangers of fentanyl and the risks associated with the drug use. And that's the reason I'm doing this video, because it seems as though this drug is making its way into Europe, and it will no doubt find Ireland. We have a huge drug problem here in Ireland. We also have a huge homeless problem. As you can see, they have the same thing there in the States. That looks like Amiens Street to me. It reminds me of Amiens Street under the bridge at the Amiens Street Clinic, but it was never as bad as that, as bad as it was down there. See guys, it's not really a homeless problem we have. It's an addiction and mental health problem. Please like, share, comment or subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, the Revolut is in the description. I would just like to say, be kind to one another. This is a short journey, this life. And the quality of our life depends on the quality of our relationships with any and everybody. Paulie T signing out for KoldTurkey.